Encounters with the Nagual by Armondo Torres. Introduction. My name is Armondo Torres. I have written this book in order to complete a task which was assigned to me years ago. In October 1984, I met Carlos Castaneda, a controversial anthropologist and a writer on the subject of sorcery. At the time, I was still quite young, and in my quest for answers, I had looked into various spiritual traditions, and I wanted to find a teacher. But from the very beginning, Carlos was very clear in this respect. "I don't promise anything," he said. "I am not a guru. Freedom is an individual choice, and each one of us must assume the responsibility of fighting for it." In one of the first talks that I attended, he severely criticized the kind of human idolatry that induces us to follow others and to expect ready-made answers from them. He said that this attitude is a remnant of our herd mentality. "Whosoever sincerely wants to penetrate the teachings of sorcerers does not need guides. It is sufficient to have a genuine interest and guts of steel. He will, by himself, find everything he needs through an unbending intent." It was on these premises that our relationship evolved. Therefore, I want to state very clearly that I am not Carlos's apprentice in any formal sense of the word. All I did was talk to him from time to time, yet that was enough to convince me that the true path consists of our determination to be impeccable. The main motivation for publishing some of the experiences I had by his side is gratitude. Carlos was magnificent with everyone who had the good fortune of knowing him. Since it is the nature of a Nagual to bestow gifts of power, to be near him was to receive an abundance of inspiration and a wealth of stories, advice, and teachings of all kinds. It would be selfish, then, for one who had received such gifts to keep them hidden when Carlos himself, as a true warrior of total freedom, shared absolutely everything with those who surrounded him. One time he told me that he used to sit every night and write down fragments of what he had learned from the Nagual Juan Matus, an old sorcerer from the Yaqui tribe of northern Mexico, and from his benefactor, Don Gennaro Flores, a powerful Maztec Indian who was a member of the Men of Knowledge led by Don Juan. He added that writing was an important aspect of his personal recapitulation, and that I should do the same with everything I heard during his talks. "What if I forget?" I asked him. "In that case, the knowledge wasn't for you. Concentrate on what you remember." He explained that the purpose of this advice was not only to help me retain information that might be valuable in the future. The important thing was that I acquire an initial degree of discipline so that I could undertake real exercises of sorcery later on. He described the purpose of sorcerers as, quote, "the supreme enterprise, to take a human being out of his perceptual limitations in order to restore him to the control of his senses and enable him to enter a path of saving energy," end quote. Carlos insisted that everything a warrior does should be imbued with an urgent sense of the practical. Expressed in other terms, He should have an unbending focus on the real purpose of human beings: freedom. A warrior has no time to lose, because the challenge of awareness is total, and it demands maximum alertness 24 hours a day. In my dealings with him and with other men of knowledge, I witnessed events that from a rational point of view could only be called extraordinary. For sorcerers, however, things like remote vision, knowledge of events before they happen, or journeying to parallel worlds are normal experiences in the execution of their tasks. As long as we are incapable of verifying them for ourselves, we will inevitably take them to be fantasies, or, at best, to be metaphors. This is the nature of sorcerer's knowledge. Take it or leave it. You can't reason it out. It is not possible to verify it intellectually. The only thing we can do with it is to put it into practice, exploring the extraordinary possibilities within our being.